really tight hips, and sometimes it means I can't sleep, so I always stretch them out. And I found some really beautiful hip stretches that I wanted to share with you. So the first one is that, you know, preferably you've done a bit of a warm-up. I've done a warm-up tonight. I've danced to a few songs on YouTube. But what you're going to do is not cross your legs like you would normally, but layer them so that you have your ankle and your knees lined up, or per se, and then you want to have your shoulders over your hips. So hands to the front of the knees, kind of open your collarbone to connect your shoulder blades, double your chin, and breathe in nice and deep. And as you exhale, start to squeeze your belly and nod your ears. Let your shoulders fall and your fingers creep out in front of you and lay over the top of those bent legs. Now gently press your tail and your chest away from each other, creating length in your spine. Take a nice big deep breath into the backs and sides of the ribs and point the toes. Take the hands around to the right, breathe in and out. Back to the center. And around to the left. And back to the center. And then tail goes down to restack that spine. You're going to do all of that on the other side, of course, and it feels sometimes a little bit funny when you layer the legs in the other direction if you're not, you know, always moving yourself from one side to the other, like working unilaterally with your stretches. It can be like, where am I going? A coordination thing. So nice and tall through the spine. Let's open the throat to the ceiling this time. And then back to neutral as the ears start to nod. You can squeeze the belly, breathe out. And hands go all the way forward. Point the toes. Take hands around to the right. Breathe in and out. And to the left. And back to the center. Tail goes down first, then sit bones. Restack that vertebrae up to the top. Separating the legs. Now we are going to come into a Z sit, also called a mermaid, and you can see it like takes on the letter Z. And then you want to have your center line fixed from there. So shoulders are still over hips, the front of the ribs and the front of the hips. Try to keep that connection, and then back of the head comes in line with the back of the hips. Then feel your ears reach for the ceiling. And just take your hand on this bent knee behind you and your other hand to your knee here. Now, take a breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze your waist and pick this hip up and push it forward as the arm sweeps from the knee up. And then here, open the chest to the ceiling. Breathe in and out. And then that hand just follows the arc all the way back down to lower yourself. And you can take both hands over here. Breathe to that back bottom rib that's exposed. And then coming back to center, we're going to do that on the other side. So finding your mermaid on the other side. Sometimes we're a little bit tighter on one side than the other. Do your best to just find that center line and your shoulders over your hips. Remember, we're picking this hip up, heel of the hand behind us, other hand to the front of the knee. Draw that line from knee over shoulder as this hip lifts forward. And inhale, open the chest. And arm follows that arc all the way back down. So that's two of my favorite, and my last one is a new favorite that I've discovered and I really want to share it with you. So hopefully I can get this in the shot. What you do is just pencil yourself onto the floor. Hopefully you can see my legs, and looks like you're in a basic back extension. You're going to, let's start with the right leg. Bend, point to the sky. Now pick up the thigh bone and breathe out, squeeze your waist. And then touch that leg behind you. Breathe in and out. Pick up that toe and thigh bone goes exactly where you got it from. And then lower that leg. And then lift that leg. Thigh bone goes up, breathe out, squeeze the waist. Toe over your body. Try to keep your chest somewhat down, a little bit of natural rotation. And point to that floor behind you. And pick it up and let it rotate back.